Mitch Latcher, 3rd FT. Hey, we're going to talk tanks today. This is the Crusader sitting in the shop. It's one of the new British tanks. It's one of my favorites. It reloads fast. It shoots pretty well for a 40 mil. It's a 2.0 battle rating, either in arcade or in realist RB, I think. But let me show you where the tutorials are, and let's go through a couple of those so you know some of the basics. Then I'll discuss some differences it doesn't tell you about in there.
Welcome to one of War Thunder's training areas. Here you will learn how to control your vehicle. Begin moving forward.
W is forward,
To the firing area.
S is backwards, or you can use it to stop. A or D is left or right. By the way, I have killed the crew by going fast and running into something immovable. Or driving off a cliff. And yes, tanks can turn over. So that's a little bit about something I will discuss. You can see on this tank, at the bottom you see a hook. When you press 0, that activates that, and then your gun doesn't fire a bullet. It attaches a tow hook to, say, a friendly tank.
In the lower right corner, you can see a mini-map which shows your tank as an arrow. It also shows the positions of your enemies and allies as icons. Your opponent this time, a training target, is the red icon on the map. Your allies' icons are blue. Wait until the tank turret finishes rotating and the weapon sight is aligned with the cursor.
In arcade, your enemies have red HUDs on them. If you're in RB, you have to find the tank. It doesn't have any HUD at all on it. Friendlies do have blues, but enemies do not.
View. You can use zoom to get a better view of the target. The aim assist indicator in the center of the screen shows where the shell will strike when you fire a shot. Depending on your target's armor thickness, the aim assist indicator changes to various colors. It turns red if the current shell cannot pierce the armor, yellow if it is possible to pierce, and green if your shell can easily pierce the armor. One of the best ways to destroy a tank is to put its crew out of action. Move the reticule over the central area of the tank. Now fire at the fighting compartment on the tank. When a shell penetrates armor, the X-ray window appears in the top right corner. This shows which parts of the tank and which crew members took damage. The enemy tank is considered destroyed if it has less than 2 crew members remaining inside. Great! If there was any crew in this vehicle, they would be in big trouble. Now, switch to third-person view. Another effective way of destroying, or at least immobilizing a vehicle, is to... Most armored vehicles have their engines at the rear. Continue by moving the reticule onto the rear of the indicated tank. Now, switch to gunner view and fire at the tank engine. If the engine, ammo rack, or fuel tanks inside the tank are damaged, this may cause an explosion or start a fire. Good job. Now you have to complete a real combat assignment. Capture and hold a strategic point. You can see a marker above the capture point. If the marker is white, this means that the point is currently neutral. Move into the capture zone.
Sometimes when you're trying to when it's going to take several shots to kill a tank, it's a good thing to shoot their gun. It may not kill the gunner or like that, but it might damage the gun so that they can't fire back until it's repaired. That'll get you enough time to reload and shoot them again without retaliation.
To capture the point, you must drive into the capture zone.
There's the circle around me. That's the zone.
But you can't capture the zone while it still has enemy vehicles in it. Destroy the enemy tank.
Get a nice clean side shot on that guy.
Great!
You don't want to be in that tank.
Enemy, and now you can capture the zone. Wait for the marker to turn blue and for a message to appear notifying you that you have captured the zone. The capture zone's marker has turned blue. That means the zone now belongs to your team. If the enemy team had captured the zone, the marker would have turned red. Capturing strategic points is one of the main methods of winning a battle. When one team captures more strategic points than the other team, the enemy team begins to lose points. Victory is achieved when the enemy team loses all its points. So, always try to keep control of the strategic zones. Great job! You won! Now you're a true tanker.
Okay. Left mouse button fires the cannon. If it's got two cannons, you might want to consider separating the controls to like a right mouse button or another key. Machine guns, if it has them, can be fired with the space bar.
Welcome to the second part of the tank battle tutorial. Please move to the route marker. As you may have noticed in battles against other players, enemy tank armor can be tough to penetrate. Now, move the cursor over the indicated tank. This tank has its frontal armor facing you. This is the strongest part of a tank's armor, but you can still penetrate it wherever the aim assist indicator turns green. Find a weak point in the tank's armor and destroy it. Some weak points in the frontal armor are the viewing slots of the tank commander and the driver. The aim assist indicator will change to green or yellow at weak point. Keep firing at the tank's weak spots to destroy internal modules. The aim assist indicator will change to green or yellow at weak points.
The gun's been loaded! Loaded!
Some weak points in the frontal armor are the view. Awesome! Now, move the reticule onto the other nearby tank. As we can see, the target is well protected. Composite shells usually help to deal with well-armored vehicles. Switch to the alternative shell type available. Fire off your current shell to load the new type of shell that you've switched to. You have switched to composite shells. These shells successfully pierce almost any armor, but have a lower destructive effect. Good job! Move to another Caponier. For a better view of your target, The fired shell flies along a ballistic trajectory, while the reticule shows where the cannon is aiming. If you shoot at a distant object using the reticule, the shell will drop before it reaches its target. Nice shot. Great job. You won. Now you're a true tanker.
So, maybe we know enough to go tanking? You think? If somebody overturns, you got the tow rope. I've got the tanks tuned up, so I have artillery support. And we're going out in the Crusader first. Let's go see what goes on. Now again, redheads show up on arcade battles. They do not show up at all. Enemies don't show up without a HUD. You have to look for a tank that doesn't have one, make sure it's not already dead to waste ammo. Yeah, let's look at the modifications there for a second. You see my artillery support there. A little more variety of ammunition than other tanks. Fire protection, if I catch on fire I can put it out most of the time. Disables the crew though. They get busy doing something else that makes them susceptible to a second shot. Ooh, Tunisia, but only one capture point, so everybody's going to be rushing in. We'll take a run at it and see what happens. There's some of the characteristics of the shells I have. I don't know why I have two of those little explosive things. They don't do anything armor-wise. That composite in medium range to long range will penetrate a little bit better than the default high penetration armor. Some tanks have something called a hull charge. Doesn't matter what the range is, it always penetrates the same, and it has a great explosive effect once it gets inside the tank. Okay, ready to go? Let's go. Arcade battles of tanks are fierce, very violent, usually very quick. Now, sometimes I have to take my hand off the W while I'm driving forward and just tap the arrow keys, not arrow keys, A or D key, to get a little bit of a turn and maintain control. This Crusader spins on itself if you're not careful. We must have started late. They're capturing the zone already. Yeah, I skidded to avoid hitting that guy. Be a hawk, but if you're not going to speed up and get across the bridge, I'm going to go. And I think, as is my habit, I'm going to flank left. I'm shooting at that guy, but he's getting hammered pretty good. On the mini-map, I try to, so I'm not terribly surprised. Sneak up on you really fast sometimes. Oh, he's got an angle on me now. Finally found a sweeter spot. corner. Ooh, he got me so fast I didn't have time to shoot. It can happen like that. Should have called for an airstrike on him. Artillery support on him, softened him up a little bit before I charged him, but, live and learn, or die and learn more. That was an artillery car. Now, in arcade battles, once you've got 3 kills, you get the option, you'll see it down below across that control bar, you get the option to join an air group, have a plane. I think you get about 60 seconds of flying time, and you do not choose the plane. In realistic battles, you have to put a plane in your lineup, and you fly which plane you choose in the lineup, presuming it matches the event standard. Get on that guy and knock him down. Quit screwing around. I'm usually pretty good at knocking down airplanes with tanks, but if you get one hit on them and they crash, you get the kill. Somewhere. I see him on a minimap. I hate bombs. Fix my tank. There's no safe place to do it. My turret won't rotate now. He's shooting people right through the building. Yeah, I can't wait that much time. I'm not gonna make it. Artillery strike. Ooh. Close. I don't know who's targeting me now. I can't find them. There again, I rushed around a corner. I do that a lot. Let's go with that guy. Now, hindsight, because I'm looking at this, adding the narration, I should have gotten the anti-aircraft gun out, because, man, they all went to planes. So busy shooting at airplanes, we never could get close enough to recapture the zone. This little tank is particularly susceptible to cannon fire or armor-piercing machine gun fire. It's light, very light. So I can tell you, I don't like being in the open in this little guy. He hits just as hard as the Crusader, but he can't take near as much damage. Yes. rushed in there and taken it while they were all up in the sky. I can't ignore them either. I gotta try my best to knock them down. Once in a while, I've even shot them down with a tank shell, an anti-person tank shell. But that's kind of rare. It actually has to hit the tank, hit the plane itself. Such high hopes to capture. This guy's sneaky. He just shot me through the building, I'm pretty sure. And that was the end of that. I didn't survive that one. But that's the way it goes sometimes.